It's an instinct, a sense of approaching danger, acquired over centuries.
I deeply believe sooner or later we will leave the country, and the suitcase is ready.
There are many old people living in Hungary who are survivors of the Holocaust. They are terrified about what's happening. They really think that it's a start again of what had happened before.
I'm a child of a survivor. My grandparents were murdered. I would never, ever give in to anything that is threatening the Jews and our existence. We are entitled to live and work wherever we want.
Jewish communities in Europe are vibrant and rebuilding, but they also know that it's back. The old demon of anti-Semitism, stunned into submission by the Shoah, is rearing its head once again.
Anti-Semitism is a symptom of a general crisis. Like, there is a saying that why is the Jewish people compared to an olive tree? Because the olive tree is the tree that burns first when there's a fire in the forest.
This film takes you to 7 countries in Europe at a time of profound economic and demographic upheaval, to explore the roots of the new wave of anti-Semitism washing over the continent.
Historically, anti-Semitism has been directed against Jews as individuals. 21st century anti-Semitism is directed against Jews as a nation, a sovereign nation in its land. So anti-Zionism is the 21st century form of anti-Semitism.
Of course, not all criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic, but much of it is deeply polluted by violent hatred toward the Jews. The torching of synagogues and physical assaults got so bad in Malmö, Sweden, that many of its Jewish residents decided to leave.
I think and I hope that at least here my children can grow up safe in that point of view, although there are a lot of other dangers here, but at least they won't have to be ashamed of them being Jewish.
I think what we see is anti-Semites will latch on to anything of a Jewish nature in order to express their hatred. If Israel's in the news, they'll use Israel. If Israel's out of the news, then they'll go back to the old ones about Hitler, Nazis and gas chambers.
It's very strange because at the same time you have this global atmosphere of enmity toward Jews and Israel, you have a celebration of the Shoah, of the memory of the Shoah. How is it possible to understand such a paradox?
Paradoxical, but true. The campaign of hate against the State of Israel is built on traditional anti-Semitic stereotypes and, in a diabolical twist, brands Israel as a Nazi state.
I must say that we woke up too late. The Palestinian propaganda campaign is using 2 tools from the Goebbels strategy. The first one are the extreme lies. The second one is the turn speech. What is the turn speech? It's I'm going to blame you for whatever I'm doing.
Radical Islamists and their allies on the left and right in Europe are spearheading a drive to boycott and impose sanctions on Israel. They don't only want to change Israel's policies on the Palestinian issue, they deny Israel's right to exist as a Jewish homeland.
Which country is a terrorist state? Israel! Which country is an illegal state? Israel! So who are we going to boycott?
I do not like countries to be run on a religious basis or for a particular ethnic group. We have to warn Israel that things can't go on like this forever.
There will be one state solution and it has to be democratic, and those who get more votes, they get to govern and to rule.
In Hungary, the radical right-wing and anti-Semitic Jobbik Party is now the 3rd largest in parliament.
There are Jewish Hungarians, Hungarian Jews, whichever you might prefer. So there is a double identity there. And It's not my job to say, you know, that somebody has to be loyal to this country.
And Greece is where the right-wing Laos party is a member of the government coalition, and where this man, Kostas Plevris, was found by the Supreme Court of Greece to be not guilty of racist incitement against the Jews.
I believe it, that the Jew must be out of Europe. I believe it.
The increasingly hostile European climate, especially toward those Jews who support Israel, is having a profound effect on their communities.
We live in a ghetto. Me, I live in the 19. This is a Jewish area. Our children go to Jewish school because they cannot go anymore to public school.
Jewish students on campus will talk in hushed voices when they're talking about Israel, and, you know, Zionism has become this dirty word, this word that, you know, people need to be afraid to say. You know, you have a conversation and it's Israel.
This then is the dilemma facing European Jewry: how to safeguard themselves and their communities, especially the young generation, while at the same time continuing to support Israel at a critical and difficult time.